Hi everyone, how are you today? I want to thank you so much for coming to visit my channel and welcome you to this video. I will be showing one finished object and a few WIPs. So the finished object I don't have because I already gave it to the person I made it for. It was my very first amigurumi, a jellyfish, really cute, and it was really a lot of fun to make, and I gave it to a little boy in our church. He didn't really seem too crazy about it. He didn't really care for it too much, and he was just like throwing it around in church and stuff like that. But anyway, it was really fun for me to make. So that was my one finished object. And now on to the works in progress. I'm going to show you the owl. Not a whole lot. I'm almost done. So look at all these. If you can see here is, so basically sew the wings together onto the base, and then here's the part of the eyes. I was able to get some thread, yellow thread, and so I made one of the inner eyes. I don't have it here with me, but so I just need to make the second one and find a bead that fits this, and then I can attach it so it goes on here like this, and then the yellow inner eye goes in there with the bead, and then I think the only part left is to find a branch that I can attach the bottom of the owl to, I guess his feet, and then I think probably create attach, like, I guess a piece for it to actually hang with. So that's the progress on this. Almost there, almost done. Just a little bit more. And I also got started finally on my shawl with this. It's a wrap yarn, and so this is the progress so far. Oops, got caught in here. So it is like this. So I'm really liking it. It's actually really enjoyable to make. And here you see starts the color change. And right in here was my very first knot I have. So it's like, if you saw my other video before when I showed Happy Meal, this thing has 1, 2, and then that third knot. I just couldn't believe how many knots were in this. But anyway, so this is actually a C-to-C, a corner-to-corner shawl. It took me a while to find the kind of shawl I wanted to make with this, because I needed to find something that uses this this one skein would be enough to make, because I only have the one skein. So it took me a while to find one that I liked, and this is the one that I found. It's called Whispering Arrows Shawl by Tamara Mugli. I think Mugli is her last name, but I will link up the pattern. It's free. It's a free on her blog, and of course I'll attach a video so you can see what it's supposed to look like. But my very first corner to corner, and this is what I've done so far. I think I'm on row 18 now. Excuse all the noise. I decided to do this outside because it's just really way too hot inside right now, and we don't have AC, so I just figured it'd be nicer in the shade to do it out here, and better lighting and everything. So yeah, and so this is what I have. So that's pretty much it. I don't know. So, and it took me about, several hours just to get to this point. Of course, I'm also new with corner to corner and just learning the pattern. But now I've gotten it down pretty well. It's a very simple simple pattern. And now I'm going to do another tag today. It's called funny questions tag. I saw this on a girl on her phone, and so I wanted to do it. And so I will put all the questions in the description. So if you want to participate, you can. And so let's go on. So number 1. If you lived in a world of last TV show you watched, where would you be living? I would be living on a starship because the very last show that I watched last night, I actually was watching Star Trek Voyager. Yes, I'm a Trekkie. Hello to all the Trekkies out there. I think it was because I think I was watching Setta's Place, and she had, I think, I can't remember, it was the last month, she was talking about Star Trek and showing the Star Trek bag someone made for her and all that, so that kind of got me wanting to rewatch Star Trek again. And Star Trek The Next Generation and Star Trek Voyager, those two are my favorite ones. I never got into the very first one, the ones from the 70s, the original Star Trek, and I never really got into Deep Space Nine. But Star Trek The Next Generation and the Voyager, those two are the ones that I really enjoyed. And yeah, so I wanted to, so I started from the beginning of episode 1, season 1 of Voyager, and I'm on, I think, episode 10, I think. But so yeah, so that's where I would be living, in outer space. Number 2, have you ever been arrested? No, thank God. Number 3, what do you wish your phone could do? I don't really have an answer for that, I think. There's nothing really I've ever thought about wishing my phone could do. Maybe I just wish I had a better camera on my phone that I could take better pictures, but yeah, I don't really have anything I wish my phone could do. Number 4, what would you like to work in a movie, and if so, what kind? I guess the question didn't really specify. But I guess it is working in a movie if you're acting in it. But I think it'd be fun to actually be an actress in a movie. The kind I probably would prefer, I like, what do you call those, period movies or period shows, like, for instance, I would totally love to work in When Calls a Heart, like that time period, because I love the clothing, but obviously as an Asian I wouldn't fit in, but so I guess then I think it would be pretty cool to work in a Chinese historical drama where they have the fancy clothing, very different, the very different style of clothing they had back then, the really pretty dresses and all that, so I guess that, or anything, like, I guess if it didn't matter what nationality I was, I really like the early 1900s, that kind of time period, because of the costumes and things like that. So number 5, what are the most annoying habits someone has that bothers you? I think number 1 would be sitting next to someone where, like, they can't keep still, like their legs are constantly like bouncing. I've sat next to people like that, and it's just like, I wish they would just stop. It's just a constant, tapping or bouncing of their leg for whatever reason that annoys me. And so number 6, have you ever forgotten your birthday? Nope, definitely not. Definitely not. I have never forgotten my birthday. I have forgotten how old I am when my birthday rolls around, but no, I have not forgotten my birthday. Number 7. Are you named after anyone? That I cannot say yes or no because I don't know. All I know is, and I'm not sure why I never asked my mother or got, asked my more questions of my grandfather, because from what I remember, all I'm told is that my grandfather gave me the name as far as the English name goes, because I have a Chinese name and an English name. My English name, Sappho, so it's spelled Sappho. Those that have never heard of it, I don't know if he ended up reading poetry or something, or because there is a excuse me, there is a famous poetess named Sappho from Greece, and I've actually seen my name or her name in English literature in English class in high school. I remember seeing her name in there because she wrote a lot of poems. I can't remember, so I'm assuming it was one of her poems that was in the English textbook that we had in high school. And so, yeah. And actually, when I did a search once, I actually found out there's quite a lot of Asians named Sappho. So, I don't know, but I don't know if that's what my grandfather got my name from, because he saw it in literature or poems, or if he was reading poems or what. So yeah, there's that. Number 8. What is a weird combination of food that you like? Kimchi and hot dogs. I make my own kimchi, and even if I didn't make it, I buy kimchi. For those of you who don't know what kimchi is, it is a Korean fermented food. It is made from Napa cabbage and very spicy. They do make a version that's not spicy, but I like the spicy version. And it's fermented, so it's really healthy, good probiotics and things like that. I can eat kimchi all by itself, and I'll put it on hot dogs, and I'll pretty much put it on anything. I eat it as a side for anything that I eat it with. I've actually eaten it with crackers, especially when it gets a little too sour for me, and I need something to eat with it. So, maybe kimchi and rice, or kimchi and crackers if I didn't feel like cooking rice to go with it. So, yeah, I think some people may think that's a very strange combination. But it's funny, I actually found someone else that actually does the same thing and puts it on hot dogs. So, number 9, what is your favorite fictional world? I don't really have one. I really can't think. I mean, I don't know. Fictional world, I guess, like Star Trek, like that. Being in space and exploring and meeting other species. I don't know. Yeah, that's pretty much. I don't really have a favorite fictional world, but I guess if you say, because of the TV show, one of my favorite TV shows, and I go with that. And the last one, is there anything you collect? For those of you that crochet, you can pretty much guess my answer. Yarn, especially now, because I don't, I'm new, so I don't have much of a stash. And so, yeah, right now that's the only thing I would collect. Because too, as I've already discovered, crocheting and collecting yarn are two separate things, because there's so many, just from browsing and watching everybody else's yarn hauls, there's so many, like I'm like, oh, that would be awesome to have that yarn, although I wouldn't even know what necessarily I would make with it, but, ooh, yeah. what I did collect a long time ago, which I don't collect anymore, I used to collect Precious Moments figurines. I can't remember who the maker of it now is. Yeah, but oh gosh, was it Sam something? Gosh, I can't remember now. Who the author or the creator of Precious Moments is. But yeah, I used to collect the figurines. That was one of my favorite things. I just love the way it's drawn. The way they're drawn. They're just so cute, and so that's what I used to collect. And now my new collecting item is yarn. So that's pretty much it for that question. And I am going to tag Lisa of Ladybird Loves, tagging Joy Blessed Life, and I'm going to tag Natalie's Closet. And so if you did not get tagged and you are a content creator and this interested you, go ahead, by all means, consider yourself tagged, and let me know and link up the video in the comments when you have it, when you're done, so then I can come and watch and see your answers. And that's pretty much it for today. And I'm going to leave you with this. Wanted to leave a fun fact about me. I'll be doing different things at the end of my videos, like a fun fact, or leaving like what's my favorite TV show or what's my favorite movie, things like that. And so for this time, I'm going to leave a fun fact about myself, and that is that I was an avid sweepstaker, I guess you can call it. I think that's a lot of people call themselves those who, that is like their major hobby, is entering sweepstakes and contests. Before we moved here, for those of you in the U.S., I'm sure if you never noticed, or if you've ever entered any of the sweepstakes, there's so many to enter in the United States. They are just like, because a lot of companies, that's how they kind of get, that's one way to advertise themselves, is by the sweepstakes and things like that. And I think, I can't remember when it was that I started, but I guess, gosh, it must have been, I don't know if it was before my first daughter was born, but I know for sure when she was a young baby, I was already entering a lot of sweepstakes. I don't have the total amount that I've won. I used to have a list, but I don't remember where that list is now. Because I used to keep a list of all the things that I've won and the value of them. But yeah, I think I stopped many years ago before we even moved here. I just didn't have the time to put into it, and just a few here and there. But anyway, yeah, my biggest prize that I've won was a trip to Napa Valley for 4 days and 3 nights, and that included also a cooking lesson and dinner with the famous chef Kat Cora. And then it also included $1,000 cash and $1,500 worth of spa services. Oh man, that was just amazing. That was the biggest prize and the only grand prize I ever won. Everything else I got was a lot of small prizes. There's some of them were still big, but like I think the next closest one I think was $500 shopping spree to hsn.com. But anyway, the Napa Valley trip, that was, wow. I mean, that was a godsend, because my husband and I had just gotten through a major crisis in our marriage, and being blessed with this trip was so needed, because that gave us a chance to get away. Thankfully, a friend of ours was willing to babysit, and our daughter was I think 2 years old at the time, our oldest. So yeah, and so thankfully she was able to babysit for us, and so we were able to, because at first I was just gonna be like, oh man, I'm just gonna have to deny declined the prize because I said, it was only for two, a trip for two. But then, when I told my friend about it, she's like, oh no, you gotta go, she's like, I'll watch a daughter for you, and so, yeah, I'm so grateful. And so we were able to go, and what a trip, it really, man, the trip was just so needed for us. We hadn't had a chance to get away for a while, we really needed the time alone, time together to reconnect, and, to kind of, rebond and stuff after what we've been through. And I thank God, it didn't end in divorce. But thankfully, he restored our marriage, and the trip really was a big help. And but yeah, so it was awesome. Napa Valley, even though we don't drink, so we didn't really go and take tours of the wine country or anything like that. But I think if we were to do it again, I would definitely love to take a train ride just to do it, and I wouldn't have to drink, and and it would have been fine if we were to taste test. But I just personally don't care for alcohol, don't care for wine. To me, it's just extremely bitter and really hard to swallow. So, but yeah, if we were to do it again, I would totally love to take like a train wine tour of the countryside, and but because of beautiful views, the scenery is gorgeous, and man, one of the best part of it was the massage. $1,500 worth of massage services, so that we were able to enjoy, the two of us. We did a couples full body massage. I think we did another. I think was it just another separate, like I think we each did a separate massage, and I can't remember what it was. Oh, I think it was man, this fly. It was a deep tissue massage, I think, for the upper body. I think it was for the shoulders. And then he let me just do a facial, so to use up the remaining bit of money that we had for it. And so yeah, I think so for the two of us, so that $1,500 got us the couples massage. We each got a separate deep tissue massage, and then I had the facial. So that was amazing. It was amazing. And my husband fell asleep during the couples massage, and it was hilarious because he started snoring. Oh my gosh. But yeah, you can totally fall asleep in that atmosphere. The dim lights, the aromatherapy they had in there. But man, yeah, it was awesome. And then the dinner and the cooking lesson with Kat Cora, that was really cool. And everyone got a signed copy of her cookbook, and I can't remember the name of it. Yeah, and after going home from that trip, I definitely did some of the recipes, like the blueberry clafoutis. It was like a dessert. I guess you call it a dessert. I don't know if it's something for breakfast or not, but that was delicious. And I can't remember what else I've made from her recipes, but that was pretty cool. And then we had a free day, I think, yeah, so because it was 4 days, 3 nights, and because we arrived midday on a Friday, we had the dinner that night. Then Saturday Saturday morning we had a massage. Then the afternoon was the cooking class with Kat Cora. And then the evening, I think we did another massage because there really was no time to go anywhere else or to do anything else. So then Sunday was pretty much the free day that we had to do anything. So we had planned a hot air balloon ride Sunday early morning. It had to be super early morning. I think at 6 o'clock. We had to be at the location at 6 o'clock. And boy, I was so disappointed because as we're waiting, they had to blow up the balloon. The first group took off. They lifted off and they went. So then we had to wait for our balloon to get blown up. And before it got fully blown up, all of a sudden, I guess the weather and the wind changed, and they told us, sorry, but we had to, they had to cancel it because of the weather conditions. man, I was so bummed because it wasn't like we could do it the next day, because the very next morning is when we fly out. So yeah, I mean, so in essence, it was really 3 days. I mean, they call it 4 days because you don't leave until the 4th day. But anyway, yeah, so, oh man, but yeah, didn't get a chance to go on the hot air balloon. So hopefully in the future, Lord willing, we'll be able to either go back to Napa Valley or go somewhere else. I think it'd be cool to go to like New Mexico, where they have a huge hot air balloon festival, and to participate and go up in that or something like that. Going back home to Florida, they actually had places in Florida to go up in the hot air balloon. But to me, I was like, Florida, flatlands, what is there really to see, enjoy? And that just didn't really interest me. So I would definitely like to go somewhere else to do hot air balloon rides, where they have, mountains or something, some other kind of landscape, not like Florida and the flatlands, swamp and stuff like that. So yeah, and that was our trip. Oh, and then after that, so since we weren't able to go on the hot air balloon, it took me a while to get over that. We ended up taking a trip to San Francisco, right? The wharf. We went to the wharf, I think. And we just kind of walked around, went to Chinatown, found a restaurant and had some dim sum. For those of you that don't know, have never had dim sum, if you ever get a chance, try it. It's basically where you choose like several small dishes to sample. So it's almost like maybe like say a bunch of appetizers, because they're small portions, and so basically you choose different different dishes and try, especially if you've never had them, you get to sample, get to try all the sorts of different Chinese foods in that way. Normally when you go to a dim sum or a restaurant that serves dim sum, it's normally you sit at your table, and the waiters come out, and they pushing these carts full of all the different foods, and you just pick from the cart what you want, and then there's like a little tab on the table, like and then they'll mark, okay, because each dish is categorized small, medium, or large, and that's how they figure out the prices at the end, to figure out your bill at the very end. And so anyway, that's, if you ever get a chance to go to a Chinatown in your city and they have served dim sum, give it a shot. There's so many good, that's like one of my favorite things of Chinese food, is dim sum, where it's the whole experience of it too, not just the food, it's just the experience of it. And anyway, so we went to San Francisco for that day, Sunday, and just hung out there and just walked around and visited, I think it was called, I can't remember the name of it now, Pier 9 or Pier something, where that pier, you see just tons of sea lions there. It was pretty cool. Took lots of pictures and stuff like that. And so we just kind of walked around San Francisco, or that area anyway, and enjoyed ourselves, and then went back to our hotel and hung out, and then left Monday morning. But yeah, it was the most amazing trip, and the greatest prize that I've ever won from entering sweepstakes. So yeah, and my thing was always, if there was something that I wanted and we just couldn't afford, didn't have the money to get, I would do a search and see if there was any sweepstakes giving away that particular prize. And yeah, I've won so many things. I've given away so many things too. I remember I'd given away a ring that I won, and I've given away a laptop that I won. And then also too, there was this, one of my friends I knew, she loved making, she loved making smoothies, and I think she wanted to, specifically for a diet or something that she was on. And I just really felt like, man, if I can find, or if I can win, like one of the high-end blenders like Vitamix or Blendtec, then I would give it to her. And so I so happened to find a sweepstakes that was giving away a Blendtec, and I actually won it. And so I was so excited, I won it, and then I surprised my friend with it. I called her up, I said, hey, come on over, I have something for you. And then when she came over, I said, hey, this is for you. You know, when she opened it up, she was just like, oh my gosh. You know, and she was so grateful, and that was so much fun. And yeah, so if you're in the United States, definitely, you know, do a search. If there's something that you've been wanting but you just can't afford, see if you can find a sweepstakes that is giving that away, you know. But yeah, that's one of the things I used to do a lot, you know. And here they don't have it like in the United States. They do have some contest sweepstakes, we call it here, but all of those require a purchase in order for you to be entered. For the U.S., they have it where it's law that you cannot have a sweepstakes where it is required to make a purchase in order to enter. So a lot of the sweepstakes in the United States, even though they may say like on their ads and stuff like that you need a like say, like I think Coke used to do a lot, you know, the bottle caps. So in order to have the bottle caps, in order to enter, you had to buy the Coke. But if you look up their official rules, it always states the free method of entry. So here they do not have that, and so the only way you can enter the sweepstakes here in Nassau is by purchasing something and then submitting your receipt. The few that I did want, I've entered quite a few here. The ones that I can find, there aren't very many, not very often. But when I do enter, I think I've won 2 already. One was $100 cash prize, and that came right on time for my birthday. My husband was praying for some funds to come in so that we could celebrate my birthday. And he got a call that we won a prize, and the prize was $100. So that was awesome. And so we were able to go out to eat for my birthday that year. I think it was a few years ago. And so yeah, so far there's only 2 that I've won. And but like I said, I've also entered many. But yeah, I mean, many of my friends used to always say, oh, you know, you are lucky. You are you know, the you know, the most luckiest person. You know, I personally don't believe in luck, but anyway, and I'd always just say it's definitely not luck, because you have no clue how many I've entered and have not won. You know what I mean? I mean, I've entered thousands and thousands of sweepstakes, and the amount that I've won, the times that I've won, is nothing compared to how many I've entered. I don't know, like maybe 1% out of how many I've entered. But they just think I'm lucky because I've won so many, but it's also because I've entered so many. So yeah, anyway, so that's it. I hope you enjoyed that fun fact, and have a blessed day. Have a great day, guys, and I'll see you next time. Thanks so much for watching. I really appreciate it. Bye.